Hey everybody, and welcome to Gaming with Vindicator, where we're building the city of Mikelsfjord, and specifically our downtown of Stavanger. And you can see that our little downtown is growing up. We've used probably about half of the skyscraper assets from the various expansion packs in the base game. But you know what? There comes a time in every city's life where it's time for a financial district, and that's exactly what we're going to do with this plot of land here, this triangle. We've had a lot of investment into the region. We've had hotels pop up. We've had these big towers pop up. There's a lot of industry, there's a lot of tourism, and there's a lot of money coming into the city. So the city council thought it would be a fantastic idea to start a regional stock exchange in this area. So we are going to dive right in today doing that. We're going to put a stock exchange around here. We're going to fiddle with the road layout a little bit. We're going to get in many of our last remaining towers. As you can see, we're building down the height in this direction. So we're going to try to taper that height off. And if time permits, we'll do a little bit of work on this side as well. But I have maybe a special plan for that. Anyway, let's dive right in. It's time to go and turn this city into a financial powerhouse. So let's start with the road layout. Here we go. So I've tried to maintain the bike network throughout the downtown. For me, that is quite an important thing to do. And we've added these young lindens here, which I think are nice proportional to the side of the road. Hey, we've already got someone biking in the middle of this downtown wasteland, but this will become a really important asset for the city because we do want to encourage biking. We don't want this to be just a car-centric city, a concrete-centric city. We want this to be somewhere that people actually use. So we're going to continue with a little bit more road layout here. So I've demolished this section of road just in hopes of getting in a road that is a little bit more 90 degrees. Whatever this this angle is, and it's pretty close, so we'll let it slide and we'll get our main roads back in here. Just checking to make sure our zoning is okay, it looks good, and you'll notice that I've upgraded this to a 6-lane road only because this is really an arterial. It's connecting to a highway on this end and not quite a highway on this end, but it is carrying a lot of traffic right through the downtown and connecting to this highway. So it's doing a lot of work, and it's connecting to a lot of other major roads in the city. So we're just gonna future-proof and make sure that it's covered. Let's get in some consistency with our trees here. Alright, with that I think most of our road layout is sorted out, and I've reserved a little space for a plaza here and our stock exchange. And let's start getting in some towers. We didn't quite get to all of them in the last episode, so what better place to put these than in our downtown financial district. So let's see what we have to work with here. That was the Marble Center, 192 meters tall, and I really like the way this looks. It's pretty basic, minimalist, but it really fits in this downtown area. And we're leaving a little bit of space beside there for a subway station. Let's get that in now, actually. All right, what's next? Let's see. Tour Courbevoie, 159 meters from France, and I think this is going to fit nicely in on the corner. How's that? Yeah, pretty cool, and I like that I've put it next to the bigger brother over here. There's just something beautiful about putting two towers that are similar together. At least they're not directly across the road from each other, but it's close enough, and I like the way that it's situated. We'll just keep sliding towers in here and reconfigure them until they look great. Tower 41. So this is the smaller brother of the one we have on the other side of town. I like this a lot. I do love how it's small footprint at the bottom and then it expands to the top and it's nicely balanced. It is a bit of a shorter one, so we're putting it a little bit farther from the downtown center, and yeah, it's looking good. Let's keep going. So I want to stick this in here, but I also want to get a road in the areas because I think we're missing a little bit of the zoning here. So let's see if we can get a road behind here. If it will let me. It's not going to let me, but I've got a trick. How did our zoning turn out here? I can live with that. So let's get that tower in here. And that new road gives us a little bit of an opportunity to do a bit more there. So I'm just slightly annoyed that it wants to load on either this road or slightly off from there. So I'm just gonna rebuild this slightly. We'll go out like this. Come at that from angle, delete that extra segment, and hopefully it lets me put it right where I want it, and it will, so that's nice. And the reason I wanted to do that, well, I guess it doesn't matter. The logo is on all sides, it seems like, so. Anyway, there it is. What is this called? The Tour Saint-Denis, 185 meters tall from France. And it has a beautiful little smaller version over here. We're just gonna pop that in front so that they kind of, they pair up together, and that looks nice. We're maintaining some sightlines to the water too. What's next? Let's see. One thing I'm gonna try is pause the game and break this road a little bit. And I wanna extend just a guide road out as far as I can. Then I want to make sure that I'm getting a path in here. And then let's see if we can't fit in Olympia Term in here, 108 meters. And I believe this is the brother of, yeah, it's matching the one behind it. So that looks really cool. Oh, I love when they go together. And I didn't put this right next to this one because too much green, right? We don't want too much of the same color. It's gonna look a little bit too overwhelming, I think. Anyway, maybe that's my artistic side talking. And now we can actually rebuild this road. And don't run it yet. Even though this road is not going to be exactly touching this building, it still should have road access. I think we're fine here. Great, so that's a little trick you can use to ensure that your building is, it looks like it's on the main road, but it's actually squared up with the rest of the ones on this road, so I like that. Let's fix these trees. Good stuff, and I think we can get one more building in here. One Embarcadero, 153 meters from the USA, 1969. I think that's the right spot. We're getting a little tight with the towers, but in this kind of density that we're going for, I think it looks perfectly fine. I wish I could have centered this a bit better, but with vanilla, it's just a little more trouble than it's worth, so forget about that. What is next? What buildings can we get in here? Yeah, so there was a beautiful little triangle here. We can get in another building that has triangles, and so in my adult brain that sounds like a good idea. So this is Term am Park from Germany, 146 meters, and it's definitely fitting in with our theme, and we're tapering off the height a little bit, so that's good. Which other buildings do we want to use? Aha, yes, what I was thinking, this is a financial district, and we want to make sure we have a bank. What better bank to use? Not the small one, not the medium one, but the big one, because that is definitely in fitting with our financial district here. So let's think, where are we going to fit this in? Yeah, cool. I think that's perfect. The height's tapering off, and it just barely fit in that position, so we shall keep it. We got a big spot over here. Let's see what we can do with that. Had to search around for this one a little bit. I think it's part of the base game. It's called Company Headquarters, and we don't know how tall it is, but it is definitely a little bit taller than the one next to it. So there you go. It's actually quite a beautiful building. I love this. I don't know what you would call this. It's probably like a mixed use, maybe some shopping in the bottom here, some offices, and offices all the way up to the top. So, and you know, I'm trying to make this look good from the backside too, although I'm really more concerned about the view from the water. So we'll focus on that. Any others we want to get in here? Yes, indeed. This is a really cool little one. This is the high-rise office building. I guess there was less creativity back in the day when they created this game in 2015, but it still looks pretty damn good. You know, I've got the lighting set to hit the buildings from the other face, but still, this is still a beautiful building. One from, I believe, the base game, and it's in the right spot. It's a good height for this area. Let me just consult my list and see if I missed any. Oh, wait a minute, I know that I did. So let's find them. Here's a pair of buildings that I love. Torre Conde Paulista, 154 meters from Brazil. And lucky for us, there is a very long and thin area right here where the two buildings can actually fit right across the road from each other. And so how does that look? I think that's perfect. You know, yeah, that's really making me happy. So perfect. And you know what? Why it's perfect is because, you know, there's some footprint on the left side here, but the tall tower is only on the right. And I'm planning to put our stock exchange right here. And if you have played the game at all, you'll know that it gets pretty tall when you level it up. So hey, that's the next thing we need to do. Let's go into our financial districts and build that up. We have a stock exchange, wonderful. And you know what, at level 1, this is already a beautiful building. It's absolutely spectacular. It looks very, I don't know, there's the Roman, Greek columns and a little bit of these old-timey doors. Looks really cool. So we're out of water, let's fix that. Just a little blank spot there. Great, we fixed that. Now that we have this in, we can actually start managing our investments. And I know that there's a way to game the system. I know there's a way to make millions and millions of dollars by just clicking a few buttons. You can search YouTube for that if you want. I'm gonna play the game, I wouldn't say properly, but I'm gonna play it my way. So let's pause the game. And the idea of making money in the stock market, you know, oversimplified, is you buy low and you sell high, right? So we're looking for the lowest of the low. And this is down, chirp air 7%, down a little bit, up, down 2. So I think, oh, down 8. So traffic is down 8. That's the worst performing stock. And we're gonna buy it because that's what you do, is you buy low. We have $3.1 million and there's actually only 2 million of stock. So I want to be conservative. I don't want to break the bank in case I mess this up. We're gonna go, let's say, 1 million, and we'll buy that. And then we'll take out some of the, what was the other one that was really underperforming? It was the Chirp Air. We're doing all our transportation stocks today. We'll go with another 1 million here. And we've knocked our bank balance down below 1 million for, I think, the first time in a while. Doesn't worry me because I think I got this, guys. I got this. But let's find maybe one more stock we can buy that's not performing very well, just to diversify our assets. And that looks like the ore industry. So we're gonna put another, you know, let's not go crazy. Let's do, I'm comfortable with 500,000. And now we've really hurt our bank balance down to less than 500,000. But that's okay, we're going to make it back. So we'll run the game again, and why don't we start working on the detailing around this this stock exchange. Here we go. I really like these statue plazas. They are very modern, which I think fits in with a financial district, and they've got these cool little bench gazebos in the back here. So now, can anyone tell me what is the purpose of having an open air gazebo roof? It certainly doesn't protect you from rain or sun, but I see it all the time. So someone help me out with that one. I'm scratching my head. Anyway, not to complain, but let's keep going. I really love these ROJ small station front plazas. Not because they look phenomenal necessarily, but because they're 2x2. And we have not had, as far as I know, a park asset in the base game with the additions without mods or assets that are 2x2. So this is really solving a problem. It's filling a hole, so to speak, in the game. And it really does work for me. Now, what are we gonna put in this area here? This is a very rich area. We want it to project prosperity, and so what might fit in here? Let's see. What do you put in front of a stock exchange? You put a statue of shopping, of course. I mean, it's really like a shrine to to modern materialism, isn't it? So wonderful. We've got that in, and now we've got a little bit of space actually for something else that will fit perfectly, and that's the bull and the bear, which is actually the cow, the bronze cow, and the bronze panda. So you know, these represent the stock market doing great and even better, of course. And what else can we fit in here? Let's see. Large fountain plazas, can't go wrong with that. They're very modern, they're large enough to fit in here, and it leaves us a little bit of room for pathways. Unfortunately, there's this one by little zone here that didn't quite make things perfect in the end, but we'll solve that by putting in a little bit of a pavement path. And we'll cover up some of this green space, this terrible green space, with another new asset that we have that's going to be very helpful for us. This is the small airport apron, aka concrete. And you know what, we're even going to cover up this middle of the plaza here and the end, just for consistency's sake. And I think this actually looks really great. It looks like a bit of a planned out plaza, right? And you know, while we're here, let's do some detailing. I noticed that the stock market has built-in trees, and much to my dismay, they are the base game trees and not the expanded set of trees. So we'll try to find this tree and pump in a few more of those, and maybe work on a few more young lindens. And in fact, you know, we're gonna go as far as to turn this into a pedestrian road, because I think you wouldn't want cars driving right by this area here. It's just a way to add some variation to the city. So there we have it, and of course everything's messed up because we don't actually have a pedestrian zone here. So rather than creating a new one and putting in a different service or a new service point, we're just going to steal the district from an old one. And we'll do that by coming over here, using our smallest brush, and just kind of grabbing this, grabbing this zone and coming across, and we'll just kind of wind our way through here. And I guess we have to cover up these buildings as well to make sure that they're captured. And there you have it, an extension of Coleridge Street. Now, I don't remember if I can cut off this line. I'm not gonna risk it. Well, no, let's risk it. Let's see. Oh, I've broken it. Darn. Okay, so that's a lesson to you. Don't mess what's not broken. And I've got to just try to sneak in here and cover out these other little assets that are pedestrian zones. So now I've broken the park. Don't mess with it next time, Mike. Don't mess with it. And the reason it's still broken is I didn't get the service point. So we've covered that. Hopefully things stop screaming. They're stopping screaming. But I've mucked up the park. I need to get those. This is a bit of a process, folks. But that's okay. We're going to be really gentle with this. We're just going to come at it as gentle as we can, and definitely not break anything. We broke it. Okay, let me just pause this for a second, and I'll take a stab at this. All right, well, we've fixed that up. It's a little bit of a mess, but hey, the game does not make it easy to overlap park areas with pedestrian areas. So, hey, I think I did a pretty good job. Let's look at our investments and see how they're doing. And I'm gonna pause it so that nothing shifts right as I'm clicking the button. And what do we have? We have a gain of 70K, 50, and 51. Not bad, my friend, not bad. So we're gonna sell all of these, and we're gonna see what else we can buy at a bargain. Death care is down 5.5. We've got forestry. I think 5.5 is our best bet. So why don't we spend half of our money, which is now 3.5 million, and that'll be, let's call it 2. Oh, it's not gonna let us buy 2 million because there's only so much stock. So we'll buy it all up. And then we'll look for something else that's a bargain. Forestry, certainly. And I don't want to burn all my money, so we're gonna go and put another 1 million into this. Let's call it 1.5 million. We've got a 1.2 left. Is there anything else we want to get into? Generic industry, can do. Let's do that. And we'll do another half, call it 600. Oh, okay, we'll just buy up all those shares. Leave it alone, Mike. Okay, running the game again. Let's get in those trees. Sometimes the amount of patience required to get in trees between a road and a park asset is extreme, but hey, I think we got it done, and I don't think I overdid it, so that's a good thing. It's coming together. I really like that our stock exchange has a plaza, and it looks kind of forested almost, which, you know, it's probably unusual for most stock exchanges to have any kind of major trees in front. But we are, after all, a Nordic Arctic Circle region, and so this really, I think, fits with the theme here, although I don't know if these trees are even indigenous to the area. But anyway, I digress. Let's upgrade our stock exchange because we have well past what we need. And we're not quite at the 3rd level, but we'll do a few more trades and get it up. So what did we do? We basically added a whole part on top of this. Great, let's see if we can actually get this to level 3. Pausing again so that nothing shifts as I'm about to click the button. 40K, I can take that. 24 is not much, but I wonder if it might be enough to get us there. I'm not sure. And now we have 2 million. We've still got a bunch locked up in forestry. It's still taking a beating there, but that's okay. Farming, did I just sell that? I can't recall. Forestry really down a lot. You know, it's typically not a good idea to put all your eggs in one basket, especially when it comes to the stock market, but we are playing a game, and so I'm gonna see if I can purchase more. 1.6, I'm just gonna buy it all up. Since it's down so low, I know with the game, it's just gonna come back. There's nothing wrong with our forestry industry. It's just, you know, it's the market. It's the market. And what else? Greasy gasoline, sure. Let's buy up, well, we only have 500,000, so I'm actually gonna be cautious and leave my bank balance at a reasonable place. And here we are. If this doesn't work for us, we're in big trouble. We've lost $3 million, but I'm crossing my fingers. All right, what's next? So there is one more tower I want to get in, and I believe it's Catalinas Norte, and we're gonna try to shift that in this direction. Where exactly do we want to put that? It's gonna scoot in right here, and I might just have to delete my power lines first. Not sure we actually need these anymore, in fact, but yeah, we'll get it right here, and it's kind of the crossroads, and it's the right height. It's tapering off, and you can see all of our heights tapering now, which is really cool. While I'm in this area, I know that this junction here, and I can run this, fix the power first, my friend. Let's hope that doesn't get in the way. So what I was saying is that I know that this junction is going to become quite important in the future. You know, we're going to have a neighborhood on this upper side of the downtown, and it is carrying a lot of traffic, right? I mean, we're coming off the highway, coming from this farm area, and it's branching off here. So I'm going to future-proof it. I kind of wish I had put a roundabout in this area as well. Already, this is a bit of a mess, right? It's a bit of a rat's nest. I might have to destroy this beautiful plaza that I made and put a roundabout in, but not yet, not until we have to. So let's just break this up a bit and put in a roundabout. can run that again. And so what I've done is I've used the 3-lane road here because that matches what's coming off here. And we've future-proofed this a little bit. And I backed off this the streetcar tracks by 1 block because it really doesn't need to go through the roundabout. That would just be silly. So we have things flowing again, and our region here is coming together. Let's take a look at our investments. There we go, 113,000 profit. That should push us well over into level 3. While we're here, we'll buy some new stocks. Nothing is looking okay. Oil industry. We'll go hard on the oil industry and see if we can buy. What do we have? 3.8 here. Let's just go for the full. We're buying out the whole industry because we're big players like that. We're deep pockets. 2.9, 2.5, 3.2. Let's buy some generic industry, and we have 1 million left. There's only 400,000 here. I'm comfortable with that. We'll leave that and let it run. Now we can upgrade to level 3. What did that do? It took that beautiful architecture off the top and gave us this glass box. But you know what? Although I don't personally like it as much, it kind of fits in with our downtown a little bit more. And hey, we're peeking over the top of some of these other buildings, which is nice. Let's let those investments run and let's keep going. One thing I do want to do, as always, is put pathways around our tall towers so that when we do eventually zone next to these, we don't have like little towers popping up right next to the big towers and touching them. I want to prevent that. So here we go. And we're getting that bridging effect again, which is a bit of a bug in the game. So we'll just scoot this guy over for a second, totally realistic to move a skyscraper. And we'll get our path in and we shall put it back. Great, now I think we have, oh, one more. Well, I don't think I missed any paths, but these things do happen. So we'll leave it at that. Let's check our investments and see if we can actually get this leveled up to level 4. Look at that, 303,000 profit. That's gonna push us, I think, way past level 3, level 4 rather. And we'll even get rid of this generic industry to get our gravy on top. And what can we invest in? Let's see, nothing there terribly down. Gasoline 2 and a bit. Yeah, so the city's booming, obviously. So I'm hesitant to even invest anything. But you know what, this greasy gasoline is down 2 and a bit, so we'll pump in. Let's see, we now have 4.5 million. This is a really easy way to make money in your city, folks. Let's put in 2.5, and we'll ideally get this up to level 5 before the episode's over. In fact, I don't quite have enough, so we're gonna have to let this run. I'm gonna put it at max speed, and we'll just give it some time to gain in value. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start zoning in some office area in this area. Now the whole downtown is really covered by this what do you call this, a zone, a district, and we don't want that because we have a very special type of office specialization for our financial district. So I'm actually going to start by painting a new district. All right, I don't know about you, but I find it very distracting or confusing to have overlapping zones. You know, we've got our pedestrian zone with our park zone with our regular district. Anyway, that's fine. We have Elizabeth District, which it cannot stand. It's not a Nordic name. So if you have a name for this area, this financial district, let me know in the comments. And let's take a look at some of our policies. So I know that because we have had zero demand for offices and industry in the last, I don't know, forever episodes, we're going to have trouble getting in the offices, the financial district offices. But I've got some plans for this. So when we go over to taxation, we can do tax relief for offices. This will reduce the tax rate for office by 2% and hopefully entice some of them to come over here. The other thing that we want to do is we're going to go into, well, do we want to have any other policies? Let's see. We'll do free Wi-Fi. I'm not sure whether that's going to become a whole city policy. And as far as city planning goes, I don't see anything that's really critical here, so we might just skip on any more policies. Leave it alone. What is this big benefit business? High density commercial buildings double their sales for, yeah. Let's not mess with that. But what I do want to do is get into here. We want to find an office specialization, and we want to choose this financial office buildings, put the policy on the whole area, and we'll see. We're not going to have any residential in here. As far as commercial, I think we want to go wall to wall just like we had in the zone next door. Do we want anything else? Tourism? No. Not hotels. Leisure? No. Organic and local for sure? No. So we'll go back with our commercial wall to wall. I wonder, is it worth maybe just doing the basic one? Or is there another style that we can use for this area? I don't think so. So then we'll continue on with our wall-to-wall commercial, and we'll get some of those beautiful modern buildings that we have next door. Industrial, not applicable. And okay, now before I start zoning offices in here, I want to actually come over north here to Fjellesen, and when I take a look at the zoning, you'll notice there's quite a healthy amount of commercial. And you know, this was way back in the day when I watched a video about separating your residential from your office spaces. And yeah, it makes sense, but there's actually just a little bit too much office, I would say. We need to actually dezone some of this, which will create more demand for office zoning downtown. It makes sense, right? Offices would be moving downtown anyway as the downtown builds up. And we're going to replace that all with high density residential, because we have a very, very high demand for that, and it just makes sense. So before we do that, let's overlay some noise on this. We can see that the noise is really coming from two places. So it's the high density commercial, which we know about. It's this tram depot, and it's a little bit of the roads, but I don't think I don't think the houses will complain about that. And of course, it's the train station. So we're gonna stay away from the train station, and we're gonna stay away from any noise in general. But I think, you know, something like this, like we can totally get our marquee out, and we're going to dezone all that office. We might just leave that piece there because it is and I broke it anyway. I broke my, and in fact that might be a happy accident. So let's just dezone all of this and replace this with housing, because we do have a housing shortage now in town. I'm not sure why all these empty spaces here. If I just did that, I didn't notice it, so my bad. But we do have to come through here and make that more reasonable. So we've got some of the new residential buildings coming in here. We're not going to mess with that. We won't mess with that. We have to keep this office buffering between the commercial and the residential, so we'll leave that. But I think this area right here, I mean, this is not next to any noise really, and so if we come out and replace that, I think that's fine. They can be next to a roundabout. What's the harm in that? If it's really noisy, we can upgrade this with a sound wall, but I suspect we won't have to do that. What else? We're actually missing something here. It looks almost as if there was something here. And look, my egg on my face, this was done probably more than a year ago, and I've evolved quite significantly as a player since that time. So, give me a break. Yeah, and what else can we take out here? I wouldn't want to touch this. I can't put anything next to that station. Potentially here, yes, there's a rail line which is backing up apparently, but we can certainly take these little blocks out, replace with some much needed housing. And what else am I seeing? Yeah, I can't touch that. This is already residential. This is too close to commercial. You know, here we can get away with this. Let's dezone all of this and put in some housing here. We've basically dropped our demand for residential to medium. I would say that's low. And what else? Do we have any other spaces that are not next to noise? Perhaps here, although this is quite close to the train station. Let's just check the noise. I think it's fine. I think we're gonna give it a go because I really want to create as much demand for office space as possible. And so let's let that play out. Those buildings will disappear. So we have, it's not really that easy to see, but we have replaced a lot of the office space with residential. And I don't want to go any farther with that really. So do I? Oh, I'm second guessing. No, so we'll leave it, it's fine. And to get my bearings again, here we are downtown. Okay, so let's start zoning office space in the downtown. Before we do that, let's see if we can make it up to the next level. Oh, look at that, $230,000 profit. I guess they're called simoleons in this game, aren't they? So we'll sell that off. We'll have plenty to get us to the next level, and we'll keep pressing on to level 5. And it looks like our worst performing industry is forestry. So buy it up. We have 5 million in the bank, 3.1 million. We're buying the whole shebang here. And anything else? We've got oil industry is down. Yeah, let's do a bit of that. Let's be aggressive here. I want to get to level 5 in this episode. We've got 1.8 million. We'll go down to 1.3. Leave ourselves a little buffer in the kitty here, and let it run. And we've done our proper policies and our styles. So let's start zoning office. And here's my philosophy in this area. The 4x4 financial district buildings look great. The 3x3s look good. Even the 3x2s. The 2x2s I can accept. The 1x anythings are just not okay with me. So we're gonna avoid those at all costs. And I might use some fences or the new ability we have with roads to remove zoning in order to get exactly the configuration I want. Looks like we got 22 bright-eyed new students coming in here. But let's roll. Let's do this. We're getting in some financial district office spaces. Here we go. So I think this is the extent I want to go to on zoning offices. There's just a little touch more of those here. As I said, the 1x1s, the 1x2s, they don't look so great. The 2x2s are not awesome, but in my opinion anyway, but you know, they're gonna fit. I think there are 2x3s, and so we're putting some of those in. I wonder if they're actually 4x2s. I don't think so, but we're gonna double check that. And in the remaining spaces, we're simply gonna zone high density commercial because that's what fits. So I'm gonna go with a fairly wide brush here and just try to squeeze in as much commercial in the interim spaces as I can. Like things like this, obviously not gonna work. So maybe I should be a little bit more careful. But I do think the 2x2s in this commercial wall-to-wall pack, I don't hate them, so we're gonna just try it. Obviously we can't stick anything there. We're gonna teleport a little bit, but you know, for example, in this area we can maximize. This is very valuable land. Maximize our zoning. Even in a space like this, we'd probably get something in there. Maybe a 2x here Another one. You know, again, I don't even hate the 1x1s in this pack. So we're just gonna, you know, very carefully fill in the space. So we have pretty much filled up every viable square of office and commercial space, and you can see we are getting some financial district offices coming in here, which is really exciting because in my test build it was a little tough. And you know, although it's hard to see this, it's not a bad looking building, is it? This is only a 2x2. It's only level 2 right now, but it's not doing too badly. I don't mind that at all. Now, one thing I did perhaps overlook is park space. And I know we've got a huge park here, but I just want to make sure that we are able to level up to level 3. And before, while I'm thinking of it, let's upgrade this building to level 4. There we are, our stock exchange. It's now, you know, it's a contender in the skyline. It is matching the height of some of the taller buildings here. And can we get to level 5? We need another about $552,000 simoleons. So let's push to the finish line here. We're halfway there already. Pausing, selling, and let's find a real bargain basement stock here. Generic industries down 7. That's going to be the winner. I don't think there's many stocks here. Not even half a million. We'll buy those up. We might just end up buying up everything. Farming, 3.3, boom, done. And down 3. Okay, death care, you might be the one that puts us over the top. There's not a lot of stocks here. You know, I'd hate to have to do this again, so let's just buy up some traffic, and we're gonna spend about half of our remaining bank balance and leave ourselves with a little cushion. We'll run this at speed because I want to see this A, fill up with office buildings, and B, I want to get to level 5 on our stock exchange here. So yeah, let's take a look at some of these buildings. So here's a level 4 financial district building. It's really cool in my opinion. We've got the lower level is this very much similar to the stock exchange proper. The Greek columns and you know, some of these really heavy stones. I think it's really quite cool. Does it fit with the wall-to-wall commercial next door? I'm not sure that it does. So we might rethink this. What is this? Oh, variations. Oh, good on you. Okay, so it's basically changing the pane on the outside. That's fine, we'll leave it. This building is just leveling up to 3, which means I think we might have enough parks in the area. And it's cool because it has this sort of taller part on top. It remains to be seen whether it fits in with the commercial wall-to-wall, but we're gonna hope. Let's check our investments real quick. Not quite there yet, so we're gonna leave it alone. And I wanna quickly check on our parks. Where is that? That's this one. Obviously unique buildings, yeah, we're sorted out there. Parks and plazas. There's a bit of a dead zone over here. I think we could use a couple more plazas. Maybe a park or two, some green space. I mean, we're not doing bad. There's just a little tiny area here. What other overlay? Let's see if we can do happiness. No, it's not going to tell us anything. Land value. Where is that? Quite high. And you know, look at that. That's just we drew the pedestrian area all the way over here. So that's what's creating that. This area will be extremely valuable eventually. Not just yet, but we're getting there. I still think I'm gonna fit in a couple parks here and there. All right, I didn't overdo it, and I think that's usually a good thing. Let's just quickly check on our investments. We've got 141 here. That's gonna carry us quite a long way toward our goal. The other ones I'm not ready to sell. They're just not there yet. Is there anything? Oh, we can get into crypto now that we're at the higher levels. Ooh, ore industry is way down, so very legit. Crime in this case will pay. There are not many shares anyway. It's kind of a waste of time to even consider it. But hey, to be the crime boss of the city, it's worth its weight in gold. Let's buy up the ore. We still have 1.2 million. Is there anything we want to? Let's get some crypto, right? Got to be in crypto these days. Okay, and we'll continue to run this at high speed. There's one thing I did forget, and that is I want to expand our subway network. We really need good coverage in a downtown dense area like this, so I'm going to make sure that we do have that. And I'm going to sneak in one additional subway line behind this financial district so that we have access. The closest subway stop is here, so you could go to either, but I like the idea of utilizing this Metro Plaza station to its max. And to that end, I'm gonna stick in a few more stations. You know, it strikes me that this corner would make a lot of sense to have a station there. So let's get one in there. And I think I have one that makes sense. So that's the large underground metro station, and it's really tall, so I guess maybe there's some office space or shopping in there, but that allows us to expand. And the one other thing I wanted to do is put another station on this this island here, which means we're going to reconfigure this road layout a little bit. Let me mess with that now and get it running. The other thing I want to do is eventually build out this riverside, I think it's a river, bayside area, and I want there to be a metro line extending out this way. But I don't want to continue always using the underground rails. I really like the idea of using the above ground rails. So let's get our road guidelines on, and we'll run a line parallel. Is this still a straight segment? I think it should be. So we'll run it all the way down. And we'll go up to, where are we gonna go up to? There we go, and now we're kind of mapping out where we want the lines to go. Gotta fix some of this power though. Good, now the next thing we need to do is go underground and fix some of our lines that we've messed with and add stops at the new stations. And hopefully this curve works. Well, we're gonna find out. The other thing we need to do is actually create a new line. So we're gonna start a line here, move it into this downtown station, our main stop up top here, and just come all the way across. We'll go as far as, you know, actually I think we're gonna back that off even. This stop's just for now gonna ping back and forth between these 4 stations. You know, it's gonna be we're teleporting. It's gonna be a little bit of a crosstown line, but I don't think we need to go any further than that. And these 2 stations, I'm not even gonna bother connecting them yet. Or am I? No, why not? It's kind of gonna be nice to see more and more lines pinging back and forth. And I'm actually gonna have to run the game, I believe. Will it? No, it'll actually let me do this. My line's back in the tube, which is great. We're gonna add a stop on this line to make sure it actually exists. I think it's good. And we'll add our zoo stop on both sides. Make sure that we're sorted out here. It looks like we're fine. And I should be able to run this. Yes, let's run it. Let's run it at speed so we get some of our buildings and our investments to gain value. And I think the rest of this line should be okay. Just checking all the dots. All the dots look dotted. And very cool. very cool. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these platforms in use at the main station. I want to fill them all up. This station is absolutely beautiful asset. When you see people pouring in to this station, it's just a beautiful thing. And when you see like 7 or 8 trains coming in at once, that's pretty epic. It lets you know your city is rocking. So what's next? Let me look at my list. I believe I always say this, the final thing we need to do is replace some of our main roads with tram roads. And I'm hoping that it's already done. You know, let's go over to the tram menu and see that our roads are actually okay. I think we're missing this collector right here. So we'll fix that up and we'll give it trees and tram. And we've put in the signature Mikelsfjord pines downtown. And now let's adjust those tram routes. So now what we have is the red line making a ginormous loop around the entire perimeter of the downtown. And let's take a look at the other one, which we've called Arc Park. And we'll get that visible only, turn off the downtown loop. Now how can I rejig this one? I think we might actually leave this one since it's doing a fine job of covering this middle segment here. You know what? Let's experiment a little bit. This is not a science, it's more of an art. So we're actually going to create a brand new line, a third pair of lines actually, and we're going to just bring it all the way up, and it's just going to ping in this triangle here. A transfer point there, and we'll stop near the subway again, somewhere in between, and match up here. And we'll create a new line that's paralleling, is that a word? That parallels the same thing. And let's give that line a name. And we will switch this to a smaller capacity tram, just like the other ones, because I like them small. Let's keep them small for now. I think it's the 65, and we'll leave that. How do the 70s look? Let's be consistent. We'll leave that. Purple is just fine for now. And let's also just mess with a little bit of those subway lines. Great, well, we've expanded our coverage for our subways and our trams. I think this is going to be fine for now. Let's check how our investments are doing and see if we can get this guy up to level 5. We're only about 160,000 away. Whoops, we definitely don't want to do that. We want to manage investments and we want to collect our... Ooh, I'm not sure we're going to actually... Well, there it is. There's the win right there. And again, if you're looking to make some money in this game, this might be the way. I'm not going to sell everything because they're not really up. But I believe now we have ability to upgrade to level 5. We do. Congratulations, we're tax bonus plus 6%. I believe that's on top of the already 2% for the financial district office buildings. And it looks great. Look at this from the skyline. It's a really nice addition to our skyline. I mean, we're gonna ignore the little coins on top. That's a little tacky, but it is a fantastic addition to our city. I love the way that we've tapered down the height. We've mixed in residential with commercial, with some of the Art Deco, with some of the commercial, with some of the Skyscrapers packs. It's looking really good. And this plaza, you know, it's not terribly busy, but it exists, and it looks, in my eyes, this is really fantastic. So I'm quite pleased with the way this has come out. As you can see, we don't have the full zoning yet. There's just not enough industrial office pressure in the RCI meters. So you know what, that is what it is. We can't force it. In the next episode, I do plan to create a new residential neighborhood downtown again. There's high demand for that. As we have more people moving in, I'm crossing my fingers, let's say, that there will be a corresponding increase in demand for offices. So let's take a look at some of these buildings. Yeah, I like it. Do I love the commercial wall-to-wall next to it? I'm not sure that I do. We're gonna have to think about this. We're gonna have to wait until everything zones in to see how it looks. And as you know, I'm not opposed to demolishing things and starting from scratch. So we might just zone in something different. But anyway, the point is, I do like these financial district buildings. They're nicely leveling up, which means they have all the services they require. I like the hospital, fit smack dab in the middle of our city. And we're doing well. So there you have it. We have our new financial district. We have a wonderful addition to our downtown area. The skyline is looking, I mean, come on. I don't need any words for this, right? It's pretty beautiful. So very pleased with how it's turning out. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm really just genuinely curious. It also helps engagement, but I'm just curious what you think of how it's turned out. If you did enjoy this, hit the like button. It helps me reach more people. You know, we're growing, but I'd love to reach new audiences. So look, as I say all the time, I'd be playing this game anyway. It's a wonderful thing to have you along for the ride. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed this episode, and stay tuned for a quick city tour. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.